Welcome! My name is Chris, and I'm a founder of ResiHub AI. I know homes, people, and I build AI. Let's talk about it. 240,000 developers put an AI agent on their computer this year. That is 250,000 people joining the autonomous revolution, and most of them are in for a shock.
Most of them woke up to a $40 bill the next morning, and their agent hadn't even done anything useful yet. It was just idling on their disk. I'm going to show you why that happens, how to fix it, and what a properly architected AI agent system actually looks like in 2026. We are talking about managing real properties, handling real emergencies, and navigating real budgets, not just summarizing your latest emails.
Here's the thing nobody in the AI agent space wants to admit. Most autonomous agents are glorified chatbots with a cron job attached. They are passive, waiting for a heartbeat to wake up. They wake up, burn through your context window reading their own memory files, ask an expensive model whether anything changed, get told no, and go back to sleep. That's a waste of compute. That loop costs you money every single time it fires. If it's on a 15-minute interval, you're paying for 96 calls a day for exactly 0 output. Multiply that by a month.
I spent 6 years as a maintenance lead, managing 500 tenants. I dealt with real problems, real emergencies, and very real budget constraints every day. When I started building an AI system to handle that workload, I hit the same wall every developer hits. The architecture that makes agents autonomous makes them expensive.
So I solved it. Not by turning the agent off, that would defeat the purpose, but by giving it a team. A specialized multi-agent architecture built for scale and efficiency. By the end of this deep dive, you'll understand exactly how multi-agent routing works and why it is the only viable way to scale AI for complex industries like property management. It cuts costs by up to 90% while handling inspections, estimates, tenant onboarding, and emergency dispatch, all triggered from a single incoming text message. Let me show you what's actually happening under the hood. Most autonomous agent platforms run on what is called a heartbeat scheduler. Every interval, the agent must process your world. It reads its memory files, which are often just plain text or markdown stored on your local disk. It has to know where it left off. It then injects that entire history into the next API call. This is your context window filling up before the agent has even started thinking about the actual task at hand. 3 things drain your budget simultaneously: the heartbeat itself, the expanding context window, and the multi-step reasoning required for every action. When it does find something to act on, it doesn't just make one call. It loops. It reads a file, calls the model, writes code, tests it, and catches an error. That cycle continues until the task is complete. A single simple task can generate dozens of sequential and often expensive API calls to a frontier class model.
Third, and this is the one people miss, it's using the same expensive model for everything. That is like hiring a brain surgeon just to take your temperature.
You are using a trillion parameter frontier model to check whether a date string is formatted correctly. It's a massive waste of intelligence, time, and your limited budget. The fix isn't turning your agent off. It's giving different tasks to different models. OpenRouter integration now allows for automatic model routing. This changes the economics completely. By routing routine tasks to edge models, you can achieve identical results at a fraction of the cost, reserving your heavy hitters for the hard stuff. But who decides which task goes where? If your single agent is the traffic cop, you're back to burning expensive tokens on simple routing decisions. This is where multi-agent architecture earns its keep. Instead of one agent doing everything, you build a specialized team. Each agent has a role and a domain. In our system, Resi is the front door. She talks to tenants in plain language. Southern charm, zero jargon. She runs on a fast, cheap edge model because her job is triage. When Resi identifies an issue, she routes it to Hawk. He is the integration engineer, running on a reasoning model to match the problem to a contractor. Becky coordinates the schedule. She's optimized for time series data and availability lookups, ensuring the plumber arrives when the tenant is home, avoiding missed appointments. Tally handles the numbers. She calculates labor rates, part costs, and travel fees, generating a line item estimate in under 3 seconds. Charles inspects the result against local building code, and Spike packages the whole thing into an engaging story that the tenant actually wants to read and share. One text message, 6 agents, 3 model tiers, total cost per interaction, less than a penny. Compare that to the $400 alternative. Let's walk through a real workflow, the actual sequence that fires when a tenant reports a leaking faucet at 2 in the morning. 2:14 a.m. tenant sends a photo. Resi responds in 8 seconds, not because she's fast, but because she's cheap enough to run on an edge model. She confirms the issue, asks if the water valve is shut, and classifies it as P2. This triage is the first layer of the architecture filtering the noise. Hawk checks the database. Not a generic lookup, but a graph-rag knowledge base built from 6 years of actual maintenance trouble tickets. Tally generates the estimate. Becky slots it for 10 a.m. By 7 a.m., the property manager opens their phone to a completed proposal. One tap, done. The tenant got a response in seconds, the PM made one decision, and the entire multi-agent team handled the heavy lifting.
Now, I have to be honest about something the AI agent community doesn't talk about enough. The security reality of autonomous systems. It is the elephant in the room.
In early 2026, audits found that 17% of community-contributed agent skills had critical security vulnerabilities. This is a massive risk for any enterprise network. When you give an agent shell access, browser control, and your sensitive API keys, you are creating a privileged actor inside your private network. It must be locked down. This is why we use curated skills only. Every tool in our system is purpose-built, audited, and scoped to the minimum permissions required to function. No exceptions. Everything so far is about efficiency. But here's what actually makes tenants stay for the long term. When a job completes, Resi offers them a story. It's an illustrated comic of their repair journey. Nobody remembers an invoice, but everybody remembers a story where they are the main character and the hero. The storybook costs 10 cents to generate, but it turns a routine repair into a retention event and turns a tenant into a brand advocate for your property. Let's recap. 1. Agents are expensive because of architecture, not because AI is pricey. 2. Multi-agent routing is the only key to true cost control. 3. It's an orchestrated team, not a chatbot. 4. Security is curated skills only. 5. The value layer is emotion. Build that into your system. If you manage 100 units or more and want agents that act under your control with trade knowledge, this is ResiHub AI. The future is here. Link in bio. If this changed how you think about AI agents, hit subscribe. Next week, I'll show you the inspection workflow. I'll see you in the next one. Out.
Today we are looking at the best, wait.
AI can now generate your entire...
Oh my gosh.
Imagine having a trusted handyman in your pocket, ready to help with any home repair, big or small. For 30 years...
Let's try that again.